What fuels self-improvement and personal development? Do you ever think to yourself, I hate myself or hating myself, and wonder why? If you want to learn what self-love is and isn't, the self-love saying that is misleading you, and how to start your self-love practice, this is for you. So what fuels self-improvement and personal development? It's the desire to be a better version of ourselves, to feel worthy and respected. When it comes down to it, it's actually the desire to be loved and accepted. At the start of my journey, my focus was outside of myself. I was reliant on others to feel accepted. This is a very human desire that is wired into our biology. This outward focus, however, is misleading. It deterred me from learning how to trust and value myself. I continuously chased for reassurance and the desire to be good, better, and worthy, instead of remembering the truth for every human being. We are worthy and lovable as we are. You are worthy and lovable now. Knowing and believing this are two separate things. That's why self-love, or the desire for it, is so important and ultimately drives self-development and can be a solid foundation for good mental health. What self-love isn't? Self-love doesn't come from your ego. It doesn't make you selfish or self-absorbed or put yourself above others. These characteristics are actually the opposite of self-love and rely on external measures for self-worth, like comparison of productivity, ability, and status. It doesn't mean that you stop trying to grow as a person. It doesn't let you off the hook if you've wronged another or excuse you from unkind or selfish behavior. These measures actually separate us and severs our connections with others. Nothing flourishes from salty soil. What is self-love then? Self-love encompasses self-worth, self-trust, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. If you prefer, you can use the term self-acceptance or self-worth instead of self-love. It involves accepting yourself where you're at, treating yourself kindly, and prioritizing your physical, emotional, and mental health. Self-love is a practice. Practicing self-love means learning how to trust ourselves, to treat ourselves with respect, and to be kind and affectionate toward ourselves. Brené Brown, The Gifts of Imperfection. Myths about self-love. Self-love sayings are truth. Certain self-love sayings, such as, you can't love someone until you love yourself, or love yourself first, are actually shaming and unhelpful. Society has taught us that we are not enough as we are. We're not capable, attractive, or smart enough. Don't do enough or are too much. And that we need to fix ourselves to be acceptable by our peers. We are taught that we are not good enough as we are. We are taught to hate ourselves by social conditioning. The effects of this self-hate can be deeper if you've been discriminated against because of your sexuality, gender, if you have a disability, and because of the colour of your skin. Loving oneself means unlearning all of the lies that we've been told about ourselves and believed up until now. The most unkind thing one can do is to blame yourself for not loving yourself first. Advice mantras like you can't love someone until you love yourself can deepen the shame and self-hate. Mostly untrue. I believe it will hinder anyone on their self-love journey because its roots are grounded in shame, and it promotes black or white or all or nothing thinking. It also suggests that if you don't love yourself, you don't love your parents, your siblings, your best friend, or your dog. Self-love can deepen your love for others, but this is not a requisite for loving others or being loved. My love for others taught me how to love in the first place. The love I feel for my besties helps me identify when I'm feeling love within myself. Appreciation for them, enjoyment when I'm hanging out with them, and safety, a goal that I want to feel for myself. Self-love is a fixed feeling or state. This is untrue. Just like feelings of happiness or sadness, there will be times where you feel deep love for yourself and other times where you think, oh, I just hate myself right now. Sometimes I feel love for myself, but then old wounds open and I realize there's still parts of myself that I dislike, and the inner work starts again. The journey of self-love isn't linear. It's imperfect, wavy. It's not a straight line. It's okay. This is human. There are periods in my life where it's harder to maintain a self-love practice, and this is okay too. If this is you, please be kind to yourself, and when you have capacity, keep on going. How to love yourself. So how do I practice self-love and self-care? Self-love takes time to cultivate, and it's worth it. First, state your intention. In the morning, repeat to yourself, I am learning to love myself with every day. Then, through establishing new routines, habits, and by being consistent, you can rewire your subconscious and form new empowering beliefs about yourself. Give yourself permission to put self-care first. If you worry about neglecting your loved ones, remember that this is also for them, that you'll have more energy and capacity to support them. Self-care doesn't need to take hours. You can start with 5 minutes a day and go from there. There are many ways that you can practice self-love. Mindfulness or guided meditations, morning or evening affirmations, eating healthy and exercising, going to therapy, taking medication if you need it, writing in your gratitude diary every day, learning to set boundaries with others. See what makes you feel more kind and connected to yourself, and go from there. You can watch how I set boundaries here, or start your affirmation practice here. My self-acceptance and self-worth journey started at the age of 12. Although there have been many periods where it's been harder to practice, or I haven't been able to practice, I understand myself more, I feel more compassion for others, and I have a deeper sense of self-worth. And now I share what I've learned so you can feel more love for yourself too. That's what fuels my self-improvement and personal development. Thank you for taking the time and putting your self-care first today. Would you like me to share more self-love practices that I've learned? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see more videos about developing self-worth and self-love, subscribe to my channel. I'll be here cheering you on as you own your power.